How's it going, everyone? It's Otaku Tavern back at you with another video. Apologize if cars are going. It's not fully dark yet, so you know the normies are still out, all that crap. But anyway, somebody I watched did a video. It's pretty ironic that they did this video because I thought about talking about this too, and you know, I might as well just go ahead and talk about it, I guess. The wind is blowing again, so bear with me. You ever go for, like, I don't know, night walks or night drives, you know, just as an access man, or you know, just an outcast? Like, you ever do that? You know, I don't know, something about the nighttime, you know, the normies are in a lot. Well, a lot of them are, but it's like, you know, you don't get as many strange looks, and you know, these people, they look at you like, you know, you're an alien from another world, or you know, kind of like how the Bible calls the stranger in a strange land. And it's like, you know, gosh, that's brutal, but it's like, you know, these normies, they just don't really, I don't know, they don't understand, you know. It's like for us access men, or you know, for just outcasts in general, they don't, I don't know, they don't understand anything, you know. But you know, I talked about how they just want to see you fall, you know. But anyway, you know, you ever just go on for a night walk, and you know, like, if you do manage to run into a person on a night walk, it's like, you know, you may turn down a street you never go to. You may break the trail that you go, or you may, I don't know, you may just kind of break the routine, you know, just to avoid them, right? You know, same thing with like a night drive, right? It's like, you know, you may take another turn or go down a completely different, you know, street, or even part of town or the city, where you want to call it, just to avoid them. I mean, do you guys ever do that? Or, I mean, I know I do. I've done that for a long time. I do that a lot, actually. But I don't know, it's like, this guy was even talking about in this video, you know, some of the things I was going to talk about. Like, he talked about, like, you know, he thought he was like Gollum from the Lord of the Rings, and you know, like, just having a conversation in his own head. You know, like, in his world, he was Gollum, and you know, just playing out scenarios in your mind or your head, you know, just to kind of get away from the loneliness, the emptiness, or at least try to, anyway. I mean, it doesn't really make the loneliness go away, but I don't know, you just feel like, you know, that, I don't know, you know, and a lot of times with these night walks, it's like, you know, a lot of us, you know, especially for us access men, you know, like, or if you're an outcasted woman, or, you know, just an outcast otaku man, right? Like, you know, or just an outcast and otaku in general. Like, you know, a lot of us, we just kind of just, I don't know, we just kind of walk with headphones in all the time. you know, some normie could say something to us, and you know, we won't even hear it, right? And it's like, you know, there's a lot of normies out here right now. A lot of them just going by, you know, and I don't know. Must be nice to go somewhere to, you know, have people to talk to. That must be nice. Or, you know, I mean, probably more than likely these people don't care, but because it's all about status or money or something. But like, you know, the point I'm making is like, it must be good to feel like, you know, you're needed, right? Like, you feel like you're needed, and then, you know, it just, I don't know, it helps, man. Like, it's just, you can't really win for lose. But like, another thing too is like, you know, with these like normies, you know how they're like just looking at you and all that shit. You know, it's like a lot of these normies will like give you a funny look, and then they'll just like wave all of a sudden, right? And it's like, I don't know, it's very weird, like, behavior, like, but, I don't know, it's just, freaking sucks, man. I don't know. Like, you know, you'll go somewhere, you know, even in public, it's like, you know, as like an Access man or just an outcast at Otaku in general, really, like, you know, like, especially within this country, like, it's just, I don't know, you got all these political people look at you weird, regardless if you're right or left, all these clowns, or, you know, you got, like, just people that just look at you funny, like they just never seen somebody like that before, you know. And it's like, I talked about a thing before, like, you know, when I was in Walmart, there was this guy, like, I don't know if the guy was following me or like what was going on, but he had to have been following me or something, I don't know. But like, I don't know, I seen this guy in like the electronics like twice, and he just kept looking at me and looking at my shirt, and you know, I didn't really have like a weird, you know, setup going with my outfit or anything, you know. I was just simple shorts and a Twisted Metal t-shirt, right? And you know, this normie just kept looking at me and looking at my shirt, and you know, like he's never seen like an ice cream truck or a clown on a shirt before. And it's like, you know, I don't know, maybe he was like just kind of looking at the shirt and like maybe just thought like, man, you know, man, that's me, bro. Like, you know, my inner clown is, you know, like, you know, it's being set off, because every time I see a clown, you know, I see myself. It's like, that's probably what this guy thought. I don't know. I mean, probably not, but I don't know. I guess he probably should have, I guess, but you know. And then I saw him like in like, you know, I went back to the toys section, and you know, just looking around just for pure boredom, really. And then he somehow ended up in there and did the same thing. And then I went and got some groceries over there, like in the grocery section, and saw him over there like twice again, and did the same thing. And you know, that's not really the only thing too you got to worry about. Is like, you know, you got people who will just look at you in your cart, or like just sit here and try to look at what you're gonna buy, or hell, you could be sitting there looking at something, right? Like, say you're just looking at a movie, right, in the DVD section or something, like, they will literally try to go out of their way to see what you're looking at. And it's like, you know, these normies are very weird. They're very weird. And I mean, have you ever noticed this? Like, that's why I miss when midnight releases were a thing. You know, you didn't really have to worry about that crap. Like, pretty much everybody was there probably for the same thing. It's like, you know, whether it was a midnight release of a movie, a video game, you know, you were there for the same thing. And I don't know. It's like all this stuff is a joke. I don't know. Normies is a joke. But like, you know, you be wearing headphones and on your night walk, or you know, just maybe on a night drive. It's like, you know, you just kind of think about just how sad everything is. Like, you know, you think about your situation. It's like, you know, a lot of people do this, and it's very brutal to experience because I don't know, but the walks are peaceful though. Like the drive, you know, is peaceful, and it's like, you know, I prefer walking at night, you know, when the normies are in. You know, and it's like, you know, the normies, they view us as crazy. They view us as, you know, oh, this person's a monster. This person's this or that, and it's like, bro, like, I don't know, man. Like, I just can't stand normies. You know, and a lot of other people can't either. Like, I'm not the only one, and it just goes to show that, you know, something is definitely wrong with society, like, as a whole. You know, we've talked about that on the channel many a times. Like, there's a lot of stuff wrong with it. I'd be here for years talking about it if that, you know, but one video at a time. But, you know, another thing too is, like, when you're on these night walks, and it's like, you know, you'll play these scenarios out in your mind. Like, one time I was out walking, and, you know, I just imagined myself as like Majin Vegeta, right? And it's like, you know, I don't know, maybe that's the whole villain arc thing, I don't know. But I just imagined myself as Majin Vegeta. And it's like, you know, when I did this, I was like, man, you know, everybody's always willing to do anything just to get ahead. And, you know, it's just, it's brutal. It's brutal. It's like, you know, yeah, here comes some normies on a golf cart nosing around, but gosh, I can't stand normies. But you know, another thing too with these normies is, like, they act like you just got like 3 heads or something. Like, you know, and everybody's always got a fake smile and wearing a mask, and it's just like all that crap too. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just, I don't know, it must be nice to feel like your pathetic existence matters. Like, I don't know. Like, what I mean by that is, like, not in the sense of, like, a Christian way, but, like, or not even a God way, because I know it matters in that case, but, like, I mean, from a societal standpoint, like, I don't know, these people, they just, you know, they try to be, like, seen and stuff, and it's like, no matter what they do, they don't end up seen. Like, you know, a lot of times when I walk by people, it's almost like they didn't even see anybody walking by. Like, it's, you know, kind of like I'm invisible or something. You know, like, it's kind of like I'm Invisible Woman. That may be another topic for another video. How does an access man, you know, what does an access man and Invisible Woman have in common? You know, I like Invisible Woman, but I don't know, I feel like they got some similarities. I'll talk about that in another video, but you know, I remember, you know, it's like back in the day it wasn't so bad. I mean, it was bad, you know, but it seems like it just gets worse every day with, like, these normies and all this crap. Like, it's like it gets worse. And man, it's like, you know, if you don't fit into the clique, if you're not exactly like these people, they think you're weird. They think something's wrong with you. Like, even if you don't like the same things as them, they think something's wrong with you. It's like, you know, these normies, they obviously don't like, you know, say like a lot of these normies, they like sports, right? You know, they like watching a pointless thing about a person throw a ball around. You know, this is so pointless. Like, it's dumb. Like, it's, you know, and then they like start cussing and hooting and hollering and, you know, getting all, like, into it. It's like, dang, man, like, that's a sad, pathetic existence, bro. Like, you're literally throwing a ball around. That's not really that great, man. I mean, hell, would you do the same thing if they just threw a rock around? Like, you're literally just throwing a ball with air in it. Like, I don't know, I think it's stupid, but I'm just not into sports, and, you know, they think you're crazy for that. Like I don't like football, right? Like, they think I was crazy. I don't like, you know, the basketball teams. They think you're crazy, right? But who cares what they think, you know? And these normies, they think they can just tell you that, oh, you're crazy, you know? Like, I had this one normie tell me one time, I told him I didn't like bacon. And he just thought I was, he just thought I came from another planet or something. And it's like, you know how many people in the world, especially in other countries, don't eat bacon? Like, that's a pretty big number. It's like, I mean, no, I don't like it. It's bad for your arteries. And it's like, you know, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. I'm on a road now where no normies is out right now, and seems like all the normies are in on the street. Probably inside watching their stupid politics, fake news, and all that crap. But it's like, you know, you don't really, I don't know, you just don't really fit in, you know. You're viewed as the crazy one. You're viewed as the person that's, you know, got something wrong with them, or, you know, and you don't fit into the normie mold. And it's like, you know, the night walk it's peaceful, you know. A lot of the normies, you know, sure, there's normies still out depending on where you go, but like a lot of them are inside, you know, because they think, you know, like another thing too with normies, they think if you stay up late that something's wrong with you. You got to go to bed early and get up as soon as the sun comes up. It's like, why do you care what time I go to bed, bro? Like, why do you care, like, what time I get up? Why are you so concerned with that? It's not like, you know, you're concerned with my well-being. You're not with how I'm doing. You know, I could seppuku and you wouldn't care, right? You know, it's just, these, sorry, there's a stupid dog barking. Two stupid dogs barking. That's another thing I hate about normies, you know, especially where I'm at. It's like, they got like all these dogs and crap, and it's just highly annoying. They think they could just let their dogs do anything, and I don't know, it's stupid. But, you know, yeah, I don't see a normie in sight right now. And it's like, you know, that's peaceful. I don't want to see any normies. I mean, there's a kid over there playing, but kids don't bother me. It's like, you know, you try to put yourself out there too, and it's like, that does no good either. You know, if you're not a normie, you know, or a person with high status, or, you know, something like that, you know, they won't try to walk all over you. And, you know, I even watched a video once that talked about an access man, like, you know, people want to cut him off, you know, and take that back. There's actually some normies out here now on the porch. Anyway, like, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's brutal, like, having to just kind of sit here and just, I don't know, y'all. It's brutal. Not fitting in. Of course, you know, I've never fitted in, you know, I've always been the outcasted otaku, you know, I've always been that. It just didn't really hit till I was 7. It's like, you know, you go on a night walk and listen to depressing music and stuff that reminds you of what you're going through, something that kind of like therapy. It's like, and then you think about like everything wrong with your life, right? I don't know, it's brutal. But anyway, I guess that'll do it for this video. I'm just kind of ranting at this point, I guess, but I don't know, like and subscribe, I guess, if you want or don't, I don't know. Yeah, see ya.